Hello my gorgeous little cuties out there, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Brie and I am just a crazy lover of makeup, fashion, and all that fun glittery stuff. So if those are things you're also into, please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I would love to have you here. But in today's video, I'm going to be ranking some palettes. I have a lot here, over 20, and I have some thoughts and feels, and I got a chance to play with all these palettes, and I want to let you know what I think and why I ranked them where I did. So if you're interested in seeing and hearing all of that, then keep on watching. All right, my loves, here we are. Time to rank palettes, and this is always a good reminder for me to realize I need to go on a low buy, because it's only been a few months since I last did one of these videos and I have over 20 here to rank. Like, what is going on? I need to chill. So next year my low buy starts, I will film about it because it is time to reel back. This is way too much makeup for just one person. I mean, I know I do reviews and I talk about makeup, but I'm always bringing in new stuff that I don't get to play with the things that I already have and love. So that's just my little spiel. But I have, what, like 23, 24 palettes here to rank. And I'm just going to let you guys know why they're ranked where they are, since I got a chance to play with them more. Now, the ranking is not only based on like quality. I do this based on color story, how often I'll actually see myself using it, as well as the quality, formula, and just like overall color story and vibe. So that's how I do my ranking. So let's get into the bottom. The very bottom of the ranking is this, and I feel like the Page Cosmetics Gemstones palettes are always at the bottom, unfortunately, and for some reason I've committed to purchasing all of them, which I don't know why, I just have a problem. But here it is. It's the Ruby palette, and it's not a bad palette. Like, the formula is not bad at all on this palette, but it is so similar to their other gemstone palette, which is the Garnet one. Like, did we need two like red palettes? Now, of course, this has like warmer tones in it and it doesn't have like the same glitter, but it's still the same vibe. And they have two metallic, like reddy pinky shades that aren't even true reds, that are so similar that they look exactly the same in the eyes. The glitter formulas in this palette aren't really good. I wish they wouldn't include them. And overall, I just was like, why? You could have done more with this. You really could have, and you should have done something different than making us have another red one-trick pony palette. So that is why it's at the bottom. Then the next one is also another Gemstones palette, and this is the Pearl palette for June. Now, I think the quality of this is really nice, and I did take this on my trip to Hawaii, so I do like it. It's a perfect little like neutral, leaning warm toned palette, but this is just not, you know, something I use that often. I'm not a neutral lover like that. I love bright, colorful makeup, but this did come in handy when I just wanted something more chill on my vacation. But also I felt like they could have went more directions with the pearl. Now, I do like this glitter because it's more like a holographic one. It's still like chunky and loose in the pan. But I do think if you were looking for something more neutral and travel friendly, this would be perfect. It's just at the bottom because it's not something I would use a lot. It has a overly chunky shimmer, and I feel like they could have done better with a pearl color story, if you get what I'm saying. And it's just smaller. The like bigger palettes just tend to be higher because there's more options in the color story. But the next one is this small one from Nabla. This is the Cutie palette in, what is this called? Nude. And I like this one better. It is a nude mini palette, perfect for travel, but it's more cool tone. And when it comes to neutrals, I prefer cool tones, and the quality is amazing. So it's not at the bottom because of quality. Like, Nabla has beautiful eyeshadows. Their cream to powder mattes are stunning. Their metallics are beautiful. It's just, I wouldn't use this as much as the other palettes that I'm going to show you. It's not my favorite color story. It's on the smaller side. I can only really do like a few looks with it, but it's a perfect like travel palette where I just need some cool toned nudes. I do really love it. Now, if you like nudes, you would love this. The quality is so good on this. And then the next one, also a really good formulated palette, but it's just the color story that makes it lower, is the Sage of Freja palette. This is the Tears of Freya one. And this one is also more of a neutral color story. Now I feel like this one is missing some depth. I wish there was some darker mattes in here so I could really like smoke up this look if I wanted to. And I just feel like it was missing something. The shimmers are really beautiful. The formula of the mattes are really nice. But I just feel like it just maybe pretty much one tone, mainly mid-tone. It wasn't the most unique color story. I do like amber. This is a beautiful like antique gold that has like a green shift to it. This is a beautiful inner corner highlight. It just wasn't my favorite color story from Oden's Eye, and I think they have some better color stories in their other palettes, but I still think the formula is really, really nice. Now, another small palette that is on the neutral side, but this is more bold and smoky, and this is the Cutie palette from Nabla and Metropolitan. This is so nice and like deeper, like chocolatey. These like, this matte right here, this one right here, I think that this has more smokiness to it. Now on camera it's looking a little washed out, but in person it's a little deeper, and these metallics are so beautiful. They're so intense, they're so sparkly. You can create such a beautiful like glam, warm, like neutral look with it. And I thought this little touch of coral was really cool to like use in the crease and then put this over and just have that corally warmth to the look. Thought it was so beautiful. Love the packaging. And I just thought this was a really nice mini warmer neutral with a pop of coral palette. So thought that was nice. So I have another one from the Sage of Freya. This wasn't my favorite collection, I think, from Oden's Eye. I still think it was really beautiful. I love the packaging. I love Oden's Eye. They have a special place in my heart. But overall, this collection was very neutral. Now this is the bigger one. This is the Freja Saga palette, and this has two sides to it. So yet again, there's more neutrals. It's very similar to the other Oden's Eye palette that I showed you, and then it has this other side that has like a pop of green in it. Yet again, it's very neutral leaning. The shimmers are stunning in here though. They're really beautiful and high shine. It just was a color story that's not like my favorite or something that I would gravitate to. I like a lot more color, and I felt like these were too similar to the other like smaller palettes that were in this collection. So that is why it just ranked lower. And that brings me to the next Sage of Freya palette. I like this one the best out of the collection. This is the Cat's Breath, and this is more of a like a minty green with pop of orange color story. Also really beautiful. Prefer this color story out of all of them. And the quality is excellent. The packaging is so cute. Like anything with a little cat is gonna have my heart. But it's just lower because it's just not as colorful as the other things I'm gonna show you. Now the next one that I have here is from Beauty Bay. And the quality is nowhere near as good as like the other palettes I showed you. BH Cosmetics, Nabla, Oden's Eye has a way better formula. But it's the color story for this one that makes it higher on the list, because it has grunge, it has depth, it has like blues and stuff in it. Now the reason why I don't like the formula as much is because the mattes are not as buildable. They're not as intense and as pigmented as mattes that I prefer, but you can get this to work. You just have to start off with the deepest matte if you want the truest color to be the deep one. And I can work with it. It's just a little bit more sheer and needs a little bit more work. I do think the metallics are stunning in here. I really, really do like the metallics. And this color story is just a bomb. I wish that like a brand that I love would come out with this color story and their formula, because I just love the grunge in the mix. And that is why it's a little higher, just because of the dang color story, and the metallics are really nice. So another palette, and the reason why this is higher is because of quality. It doesn't have as much versatility as the Wilderness palette, but the quality is better. And this is from BH Cosmetics. This is the Gemstone series. This is the Peridot palette. I thought this was such a beautiful one. Out of all their like gemstone ones, I think this one and the next one I'll show you is better than any of the other ones that came out. Look at that. Look at the greens. Look at that big limey green shade. It has some grungy mattes in here. And I even think the pressed glitter, even though it's not the best formula, is so pretty. Like lime green little glitters. I'm all about. If you put it in a lime green shade, I'm gonna love it. And I thought the formula was really nice on this, and this is one of the best in the Gemstone series. And then the next one that I think is even better from the Gemstone series is the Sapphire palette from BH Cosmetics. These are so beautiful. Look at this. The purples with some green, this beautiful holographic like pink glitter is so pretty to add extra to the look. And the quality is really nice in this. This might be like #1 in terms of the Gemstone series for me. And I rather pull these two than pull the Wilderness palette if I'm looking for better quality mattes. I rather just get these two and create a cool little grungy look with it and get like the same kind of vibe from the Wilderness palette. Then the next little mini palette, and this was so good. This is from Colourpop, the Sprinkle A Little Magic palette. This was part of the Tinkerbell collection. I absolutely adore this color story. It's very similar to like a mixture between these two. But look, some teal, some greens, some pinks. Really beautiful. I thought the mattes were really nice in here, and I thought the metallics were really, really pretty. And I love the packaging. I think this was one of my favorite Disney releases from Colourpop, and I felt like this was most on point in terms of matching the theme. I feel like a lot of times their Disney collabs don't really meet the theme or like the color story you would expect, but I felt like this really matched Tinkerbell. So this was a really, really good release from Colourpop. Then the next one, this is a more neutral palette, but it's more of a dark muted colorful neutral palette. Does that make any sense? It's neutral, but it has some muted colors in here. But the mattes in here are so good. This is from Midas Cosmetics. This is the Genesis palette. It has so many deep matte blacks. It has so many deep matte color. It has so many deep mattes. It has so many deep mattes in here, and they perform really well. And I feel like Midas is another brand that a lot of people don't talk about. Like, they don't get a lot of hype, but I think they make a really, really nice matte formula. They make a lot of deep pigmented mattes in their palette, perfect for different skin tones. And that's what they're about, is making makeup that works for all different skin tones. And look, there's just a lot of depth to this. I like this overall. I think it's really beautiful. And then it has like the dark, like muted colors in here. You can go a lot of directions. And I think the metallics are also really pretty in here. Just such a stunning palette. Look at that deep metallic. And it has like little different color specks in it, like little pink and purple and teal shimmer specks in that, and it's just so beautiful. I'm dropping things all over the floor, but it wouldn't be my kind of channel if I didn't knock something over. But really, really nice palette. Definitely check out Midas Cosmetics. And then the next palette is this one from Cindy Grace. This is the Temptalia collaboration. This is is it the Quintenssence palette? This one was my least favorite out of the 3 that she came out with from Cindy Grace, but I still think the quality is superb. It's a more dark, cool tone, jewel tone palette, and of course I love my depth and dark shades. I did feel like this was missing some things. Like, I wish there was a little bit more matte and a little bit more lighter shades in here. And this is the light version, so I'm surprised that it's so dark, even though this is a light version. But I do think the quality is superb. I love Cindy Grace. I love that brand. I love the quality. And overall, I still think it was a nice palette, just not as nice as the other ones that they came out with. Like that. Then the next one is the other one from the Temptalia collection with Cindy Grace. This is the Radiant Reflection, and this one I feel like has more variety in it, and I think I like this one more and the looks that I was able to create with it, because this gold is so stunning, and the Our Starry Night, it's such a beautiful sparkly little blue. Like, look at that. Here I am like swatching, but it's just so beautiful and sparkly. It's such a nice metallic. I feel like the metallics in here were more sparkly than the other one that I just showed you. Those ones were more satin-like. So I thought this was a really nice one in the lineup. Then the next one on my ranking is from Nomad Cosmetics. It is the Haunted Europe palette. Come on. The packaging is like so cool on this. And I thought this was like One of the best Nomad Cosmetics releases. I think this one had a good range. It had depth, it had midtones, it had lighter shimmers. There's a good variety. You could create a lot of looks. Packaging is really stunning on this. And I like Nomad Cosmetics overall. Now they do have a little bit more sheer mattes, but they are buildable. You can build them up. They are a nice like blendable formula, and the metallics are really beautiful and smooth, and they have some that have a little bit more sparkles. And this one right here, this like shimmery minty one, it's really, really pretty. I swear I'm like gonna swatch all of them. I just can't help myself. Made a beautiful inner corner highlight. Like, woo. All right, we're at like the top 8 ones now. These are like the really, really, really good ones that I love. So here is this one. This is the Passion in Paris from BH Cosmetics. I did not do a YouTube video on this or do like a review. I did do a video on Instagram where I use this palette. If you want to check that out, check out my Instagram. But this is beautiful. This is a really, really good one. I think one of the best from BH Cosmetics. Look at that color story. There's so much depth in here, so many directions you can go with. And these like metallics in here are so beautiful. All the cool tones, the jewel tones, and the mattes are really stunning. And these like burgundy shades, just beautiful. This is a beautiful like winter color story. But overall, really, really nice quality. I think this is even better than the Blueberry Muffin palette from BH Cosmetics. Really, really nice. Then going on, this one is the Alien Cosmetics Cindy Nicole palette, the Hauntingly Glamorous palette. And I adore the mattes in this palette. Now this is predominantly mattes. There's only 2 shimmers in here and they're more inner corner highlights. But this is the palette I would reach for the colorful mattes in here. Really beautiful. This limey green shade is stunning. The deep ones are so nice. They have depth, but they're blendable. The pastels are really pigmented as well. Like this is a really good matte formula. Like this is something I would pull along with so many palettes if I was looking for some good colorful mattes that were really nicely pigmented. And I feel like these kind of palettes have been making me get more into doing all matte looks because they're just beautiful. Like this matte green makes a beautiful like all over the lid shade or as like an inner corner highlight. So I think Alien Cosmetics and Cindy Nicole Adams did a really good job with this release, and I just love the spooky theme. So the next one is the Cindy Grace Temptalia palette in On the Horizon. This one was my favorite. This one was the most versatile and complete in my opinion, and having everything that I would need. The shimmers are super, super metallic. It has depth to this. It has some mid-tone. It has beautiful lighter shimmers and darker shimmers, and it's like a muted take on a colorful color story. Like, I love that. I love the jewel tones. I love this overall, and I think this would be a really good palette if you're venturing into color and you're wanting to start off with something that's not super intense. I would highly recommend a muted color story like this that's still colorful but not super intense, and the formula is really nice on these. Now we are in the top 5. These are the top of the top, the best of the best. And here we have the Alien Cosmetics Not Normal palette. Yes, the perfect grunge palette. It has all my grungy dreams in one, and a amazing formula. Beautiful metallics, beautiful mattes, beautiful grunge. There's some purple, some cool tones, some pukey shades. This topaz shade, so beautiful. This Gemini shade, it's like an iridescent green. Beautiful inner corner highlight. So good. Very, very good. I think they did a great job with this, and this is like just gonna be like my ultimate grunge palette. Like, I don't know if anything can be as good as this, the formula, the color story. So that's why it's number 5 on the ranking. Now getting into metallics. These are up there because of the metallic formula. There's nothing that can match in all these palettes to the metallics in here, and I am a metallic girl. So I have the plain Jane palette from Adept Cosmetics. Now, this is so stunning, but I feel like A lot of these shimmers are more like neutral. Like these are beautiful duochromes for people who like neutrals that don't want too of an intense shift, and they're just starting off with duochromes and venturing into that. Like look, beautiful, more nudie duochromes, but so high shine, so beautiful. Oh, they're just like next level on these things, and I just don't think you should sleep on these at all. They're so metallic, they're so reflective, and I've just fallen in love with Adept Cosmetics. Now every time they release something, I purchase it because the metallics, the duochromes in here, and the shine and everything is just so good. So pretty much like all the top here are mainly Adept Cosmetics. So the next one is the Ninhydrin palette, and I like this one because I like the colors better than that one. That one's a little bit more like chill and more neutral in the duochromes, but this one is a lot of purple jewel tones and shifty green shades, and this one has 2 mattes. Now the mattes are not like the best matte formula that I've tried, but the metallics are just so creamy. They're just so beautiful. There's like different textures. Come on, can you deny that? I swear I'm gonna have so many swatches on me, but I'm pretty sure I've swatched this palette before on my channel, but this is so good. Really, really nice. I've just dug my nail one of the shades because I'm a savage like that. But you know what? I'm going to use it to swatch. I'm going to use it to swatch. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And then the next one is also an Adept Cosmetics palette. It's the Kodanne one. I think this one by far is my favorite in terms of color story. And this one has even more different textures in here. Like these ones are so smooth and creamy and like shifty. And I just love the teal, the greens. And I thought the mattes were actually pretty good in this one. Come on. This is such a beautiful grungy duochrome palette. Like duochromes and grunge, like yeah, give it to me. It's all in this palette. Amazing formula, so freaking good, and that's why it's number 2. But to number 1, guys, the one that blew me away, the one that I'm never gonna let get away from me, because I swear when I play with this, I feel like a freaking goddess when I put this on. And this is the Alien Cosmetics Lore palette. Best beautiful fall color story and best formula in terms of both metallics and mattes. And I did like a little video where I have this look on Instagram, like a little reel, and I was just blown away at how the look turned out. And I also had like this look on in a video, and you know, people like the look in the video because this will make anyone look amazing. Like, I swear, Alien Cosmetics is one of the best brands that I've tried this year besides Adept Cosmetics. I would definitely do a video where I talk about the best brands that I've tried for 2021, and Alien Cosmetics will be there. This is number 1. It's a smaller color story. It's not as like versatile, but it's so freaking good. The mattes and the metallics are both equally amazing. And I did this look where I use this throughout the crease. I use this all over the lid. Use this to deepen it up. And that look was fire. It was fire. And that is why this is number 1. I just feel so sexy and so elevated when I put this palette on. And that's why this is number 1. So freaking good. But that was my palette ranking. Were you surprised? Were you like, what the hell? Why did you rank that where you ranked that? Or were you like, spot on, girl, you did a good job at picking your ranking? But I would love to hear from all y'all in the comments below. And I will make sure to link all the palettes that I mentioned today. As long as they're available, they will be linked in the description. I'll have my other ranking videos linked and other videos of mine, as well as the makeup I'm wearing. I did film this. I think that video will probably come up before this one. Yeah, it'll probably come up before this ranking video, so I'll link it below. I'll put it up in the corner. And I will also have my other social media platforms there. If you want to check me out, I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_Beauty. And I'm also on TikTok as Breezy_Beauty. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, for hanging out with me a bit and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. But I do hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world, and just sending you love and light. But until next time, bye guys.